Carolina Panthers review volume 134, 135, and 136. So let me get the New Orleans Saints game out the way. Listen, I apologize for not doing that video. I was out of town visiting family members, so forgive me on that one. I only watched very little of that game, and from what I saw and read the articles, it looked really bad on the Carolina Panthers. That's what, and I'll tell you why they got the first L, the first defeat of the season against their division rival, New Orleans Saints. The offense, they look bad, just like they did with the Buffalo Bills. It just so happens that they pulled it out. But Cam Newton threw 3 interceptions that turned into 21 points for the New Orleans Saints. The Saints defense looked like elite in that game after coughing up 519 yards total allowed in the first 2 games of the season. They played a little bit better. The Panthers defense didn't slow down the Saints offense. They allowed 150 yards rushing yards on the ground, and it was by 3 running backs of the New Orleans Saints, but they didn't go over 100 yards. So, and Drew Brees is still Drew Brees, man. And they had very little pressure, which is the Carolina's defense. They provide very little pass rush. That's why they only managed 1 sack in that game. So let's move on to the New England Patriots game. I watched most of that game until the 4th quarter. I had to go out somewhere to find dinner. Great. I was struggling picking that game. You know, which team was going to win between the Patriots and the Panthers, especially the ones for the predictions. I just closed my eyes. I'm like, okay, well, I'll pick Carolina. And lo and behold, they did. They win in a close game. Cam, he did start out bad very early, but he caught on fire. Basically, stay on fire the rest of the game. The Panthers did their thing. They roughed up Tom Brady. Julius Peppers, my goodness, he's going to the Pro Bowl for the 10th time. He's going. This man, 37 years old, still getting it done. The Panthers offense exploited the Patriots defense. That's all it was. And Graham Gano hit a game winner field goal. So that's all she wrote. And yesterday's game, which I was struggling to watch between that and playing SoCon 4 single player, but I managed to pause that game for the most part and then watch the game. The Panthers did go to the Ford Field and get a W against the Detroit Lions, 27-24, the final score. It looked like a blowout game, but knowing Detroit and their comeback selves, you know, you can't count them out. You just don't. Carolina won the game. They won the time possession battle, turnover battle, third down efficiencies. The only thing they didn't win was the penalties. 11 penalties. Yeah. They still allowed 2 sacks, but it wasn't like 3, 4, 5, 6 sacks like we've seen with the Panthers, like against the Buffalo Bills, against the New Orleans Saints. So there you go. So all Carolina has to do is cut down the penalties and then be all right. And Detroit Lions, they're going to be a problem in the NFC North. I think they're the team that will challenge the Green Bay Packers for that NFC North division title. I got to hand it to Matt Stafford, man. I mean, that is one tough son of a gun quarterback. I mean, Carolina Panthers defense hit him clean. It wasn't dirty. It wasn't no headshot. None of that. I mean, they roughed him up a little good, but man. Cam Newton be like, what was this last year? Why can't I get the calls? What's wrong with y'all refs? What's wrong with you, NFL? That's a whole nother story for another day. So, Detroit Lion fans, y'all be all right. Y'all be all right. I think I had your team going to playoffs. I think. I have to go back to my old videos and listen to it. And the Carolina Panthers will be at home on a Thursday night football game against the Philadelphia Eagles in the Color Rush. Yes! Like the Color Rush jerseys. Sort of. And when I say sort of, I'm also saying Thursday night game. Yay. Not a big fan of Thursday night football game because for the most part it's been hot trash. And don't give me the San Francisco 49ers versus the LA Rams game. That was a hot trash of a game too. Well, look at the offensive onslaught. And if I want that, I'll go play Madden Football 18 right now. Just saying. Anyway, the Panthers versus the Eagles is going to come down to slowing down the Eagles' offense for the Carolina Panthers and find the weakness and exploit it. Cam Newton has to take good care of the football, make sure he doesn't turn it over. The offensive line needs to hold their own. They don't need to be the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, beast modes all around. They just need to play good, solid, sound football. And I hope that Ron Rivera gets it. I'm going to get to the conservative play in a second. The last game. I hope Ron Rivera doesn't get outcoached in this game. And that goes for Mike Shula too. If Carolina Panthers do all those things and not commit any stupid penalties that hurt them, they'll get their 5th win of the season. If it's the opposite, they'll get the second L, the second defeat of the season. Now, let me go back to the Panthers and Lions game. The conservative play calling after getting a double-digit lead. Why, Ron Rivera and Mike Shula? Why? I've seen this happen before. 2015. Do you remember the New York Giants game? 35-7. Midway in the second half, well, in the third quarter. All it took was Odell Beckham Jr.'s dirty headshot to spark the comeback. Y'all play prevent defense. You took your foot off the gas. I hate it. I hate those things. If you're up by double digits, especially like 2, 3, 4 touchdown leads, go ahead and just run up the scoreboard. Forget about the sportsmanship for 2 seconds. Impose your will. Crush their spirit. Do not let the team back in the game because you want to take your foot off the gas. Conservative play call can get you beat. You will lose games. I wouldn't go as far as say every single time, but it can happen. It has happened in the past. So, and with that, talk to you guys later. And Various Thoughts Volume 136 and 37 should be out at the end of this month. If it's not on October 31st, which is Halloween, it'll be on October 30th. So, check y'all later. Keep pounding.